going to be talking about recreational therapy. Happy to have a guest from ECU Health in the studio with us. Kasey Shue is a recreational therapist at ECU Health. Kasey, good morning.
Hello.
How are you? It's nice
Glad to be here.
Good to have you here. What is recreational therapy? Maybe we start with that so people will know what you do.
Pulled up the proper definition is recreational therapy is a systematic process that utilizes recreation and other activity-based interventions to address the assessed needs of individuals with illnesses and or disabling conditions as a means to psychological and physical health, recovery, and well-being. And I'm going to tell you what all that means.
Yeah, tell me what that means. What do you really do?
We're the fun therapy. So we work sort of as a supporting role with other aspects of the hospital, physical therapy, occupational therapy. But what makes us different is we learn about our patients and what their values, interests, priorities are outside of whatever has them in the hospital. And our job is to do patient-centered care. So we take their interest and we incorporate that into their hospital experience. So we're looking for giving them the motivation to live their lives in spite of whatever they have going on versus just existing.
Are these generally long-term patients?
So I'm housed in inpatient rehab, but we have recreational therapists throughout the hospital. So it really depends. In the acute care section, so that's when they're still very much in the process of managing and being treated for whatever brought them to the hospital. That tends to be, it can be a long stay. It just depends on why they're there. And for me, in inpatient rehab, our patients are typically there for anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks on average.
I see. So what kind of recreational therapy is available here?
So again, it really depends on interest. We're big in adaptive technology. So if someone is now, for whatever reason, impaired in their ability to use their hands or their arms or their feet or their legs, we help expose them to the resources and technologies that are available for them to still do the things they like to do. For example, we have a lot of patients that are fishermen. They love to fish or garden. But now all of a sudden, if they can't use a hand or a leg, that makes fishing look a little different. But it's not impossible. And that's where recreational therapy comes in. We show them how they can still do the things that they enjoy doing and miss and like to do, maybe just in a new and different way.
So for someone who's had maybe a life-altering injury or something like that, why is all this so important, and how does it incorporate?
Because every person deserves to be a person. And that includes, again, I said not just existing on this earth, but living and enjoying life to whatever capacity they're able. And so our job is to really address the human side of having a disabling condition or impairment. We want people to feel very much included in their time in the hospital, but also beyond that, when they're out in the community doing life again, we want them to be confident that they have the opportunities that other people have to do the same things, even if they have to have different accommodations. Everybody deserves the opportunity to enjoy their lives, and that's what we want to give people.
We hear the term physical therapist all the time. You don't hear a recreational therapist that often. So how did you decide that you wanted to go into this field, being a recreational therapist?
Well, first of all, let me put a plug into ECU. We do have a recreational therapy program. Go Pirates. But for me,
for some young person looking for a career, this is an option.
You get paid to play. I mean, no better gig than that. But in all seriousness, I also had never heard of recreational therapy. In 2016, I found myself in quite the pickle and in the hospital for a good little lengthy 3-month hospital stay.
Oh, wow.
And I was the recipient of recreational therapy, the animal-assisted therapy, the aquatic therapy. Those are just some of the different aspects of recreational therapy. And it was life-changing for me. I was 33 years old, had kids at home, and I had Guillain-Barré syndrome, which really temporarily, thank goodness, but there for a while I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat solid food. I mean, my life looked very different. And it gave me the confidence to know that I can still have fun. My kids can come play, and I can still interact with them in different ways. And so I made it kind of my life mission once I recovered, which I did, that I wanted to make other people aware that that is a thing, and that ECU Health does a tremendous job trying to incorporate our services as a supporting role to the other parts of recovery, because it's important. We can't just address the physical side of what someone needs. There's an emotional side, there's a spiritual side, there's a community side, and recreational therapy kind of takes those parts and incorporates it into the overall patient care.
Love it. I see from some of the material that Ashland sent me ahead of time that you actually incorporate the use of a therapy dog.
Yes.
Tell us about the therapy dog. I think dogs are therapy for everybody. I got up
Indeed.
this morning and my dog was down by the bed, and I got there and I just petted him for a little while, and I think it brings your blood pressure down.
It does. There's studies that prove those things.
Get your day. I mean, if you've got a sweet dog like I do, like we do.
100% correct. I saw a meme or something once that said all dogs are therapy dogs. Most of them are just freelancing. But Clyde, we have a dog that works. He's been with us. He was trained and all set to go in his role pre-COVID. And then COVID hit, so his start was delayed by a couple years. But we've had him for 6 or 7 months now. He belongs to one of the physical therapists that works at ECU Health. But she and I connected because of my personal experience and interest in animal-assisted therapy. And so he is the only dog currently at ECU Health that is almost like an employee. I call him like a facility dog. He comes in 2 days a week, and he has a patient schedule just like I do. He's 5 years old, and he is half golden retriever, half yellow lab, and he's service dog trained and now also therapy dog certified. So he comes in, and again, we incorporate him into, some patients are just really struggling with being in the hospital. And so in that way, he comes in really just as a cuddle bug. He'll lay with them, shake their hand, do tricks, just make them smile.
Oh, that's great.
But on the flip side, we also include him if someone has a physical impairment that we're working to improve, such as maybe their hand doesn't work well. We'll work with them picking up really small treats. In other words, we incorporate him into their actual physical and occupational therapies so that he's included in helping them work on whatever it is they're in rehab to improve.
That's really cool. Really
He
cool.
is a very popular guy at ECU Health, if not one of the most popular. He's a local celebrity.
Yeah, but what's the name of the dog?
Clive.
Clive.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. How do activities through recreational therapy improve the patient's mental health? I guess that's the goal, right?
Absolutely. Say, for example, you have someone who has been a rock climber or a mountain climber, and something happens, and now maybe they don't have an arm or a leg. Maybe they're a new amputee. That's a population that I work with a lot. Well, we show them through incorporating activities with them, but also showing them what others have done before them, that with the modern technology and prosthetics and resources and opportunities that are available to them, they can still do things. And so we're just kind of we bridge that gap between our patients and all of a sudden they're in this new world and they don't know what their future is going to look like. We bridge that gap by incorporating them in activities that prove to them that their next life doesn't have to look totally different. You just do things a different way. And the best way for them to believe that is to do it through activities. Just jump in and just do it.
Great stuff. Boy, just another example of how lucky we are to have the great medical facilities that we have here at ECU Health and all the interesting things that go on.
Absolutely.
Good to see you. Anything you want to bring up that I didn't mention?
Just that I would like to say that ECU Health does have a volunteer center, like a volunteer office. If anyone has talents or they like crafts or they have a dog that they think may be a good therapy dog, contact our volunteer center and find ways to help us as we try to increase the program available to help these patients with their mental and physical health. Absolutely. The community can help the community and get involved that way.
Good to see you. Thank you for coming by. It's good to see you again.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
What a great what a great program at ECU Health with recreational therapy. And Kasey Shue, our guest this morning, who is a recreational therapist at ECU Health.